Hello, my beautiful sisters. Welcome to Startup HERpreneur Day 5. And today we have Michelle Tillis Lederman. Did I say your last name right? Lederman?
You did.
Yay! Okay, perfect. And we're talking about the 7 mindsets to grow your influence and impact today. She has a new book coming out with, she'll mention at the end, The Connector's Advantage. I'm super excited to read it. I love it. So she has The Connector's Advantage as a book. She has The 11 Laws of Likability, which tons of people have heard of. It's an amazing book. She's a Forbes Top 25 networking expert, and she has her own, as a founder and a CEO, her own company called Executive Essentials. I'm a huge fan of her, and I'm super happy to have her here. So yay, let's welcome her with a little hey. And we'll start with our first question for you today. So why is being a connector and having that connection advantage important to entrepreneurs and critical for success?
Well, if you think about what's going to make an entrepreneur successful, it's going to be building and growing their business, having customers, having happy customers, having loyal customers, having raving fan customers. And we get all of that through connection. You are 4 times more likely to close a deal if it comes from a referred source. 92% of people trust referrals from people they know. So the connector's advantage is that it's not just your voice, but your voice is amplified. Like you just amplified my voice. The book is out there trying to be my voice, but other people saying this was a great book is what makes it more believable than me saying this is a great book.
It was. That's amazing. So relationships matter in business, right? But I know a lot of times when you're a startup herpreneur, female entrepreneur for that matter, you don't really focus on referrals. You focus on like getting new leads and cold marketing. So where should they start off?
Talk. I always say if you are not interested in telling people what you're working on, then maybe you shouldn't be working on it. You are starting a business because it's your passion, it's your dream, it's like your drive. You should be out there sharing it and telling people about it and giving your energy off to it. People are attracted to that energy and that passion, and they want to support. So when you're out there talking about it, those connections will happen really naturally. Where do we start? We start by getting out there.
That's beautiful. And I know that with the 7 mindsets. So, well, first off, before I go into the 7 mindsets, let's talk about what they are. Would you like to go into that?
Yes, I will give you that whole list. But the other thing I wanted to say was, you said relationships are important to business. And one of the things I want people to just really hold on to is that people do business with people they like.
Yes. And
as womenpreneurs, shepreneurs, herpreneurs, I love all of those phrases. I call myself a mompreneur.
Yes.
We have a natural gift when it comes to connection. Yeah. We're naturally open. We're naturally warm. We naturally want to connect with people. And so people, right? Three snaps, this is like, yes. Okay. Let's bring our assets, and people want to do business with people they like over a better product, over a better price. I'd rather choose the person. And so those relationships are going to be foundational, and trust is going to be foundational. And that's actually one of the mindsets. See, look at that smooth transition.
Yes.
All right, let's see if I can remember them in order. So the 7 mindsets are that connectors are open and accepting. They have a clear vision. They believe in abundance. They trust. They are social and curious, conscientious, and have a generous spirit. Thank you for counting them all, because I was like, okay, I've got them all.
Good, that's amazing. So there's 7 mindsets. So the first one is open and accepting. So let's talk about that really quickly. So open accepting is like when women get vulnerable in front, and like you said, they talk, right?
Well, I always hated the word vulnerability. Like, that doesn't feel good. Like, who wants to be vulnerable? It's like weak. It took me a really long time to recognize and actually embody the idea that vulnerability leads to credibility, and that vulnerability is not about weakness. It's about openness. And so I do advise people to consider how they're vulnerable and who they're vulnerable with, but really think of vulnerability as sharing, as a little self-disclosure, as teachable moments, right? So being open and accepting is not just open and accepting of other people and other people's ideas and other people's perspectives, but open and accepting of yourself and what I call your unique charms.
That's cute. So like your strength right? Or like your superpowers, what other people call it?
So I don't know if I could call unique charm a superpower, because a unique charm by my definition is a quality about yourself that is part of who you are, but doesn't always work for you.
Huh.
But it's also not something you want to change.
Can you
So,
give an example?
well, I can tell you one of mine. So I will tell you, anybody who knows me will tell you one of my unique charms might be, well, my husband would tell you that I could be intense. Other people might tell you that I talk a lot, like a lot. Which is why these things are great, because I just get to talk. And I'm never going to be the quiet girl. I accept that I'm not somebody who is going to be thought up as, reflective and have a quiet confidence, which I think is a huge compliment, but I don't have that. I am somebody who has the charm of being gregarious. That said, sometimes it's too much. Sometimes I'm too much. And I recognize that. And so you learn to flex. And flexing is the momentary, the temporary adjustment of your charm to increase your effectiveness with somebody else. So if I'm coming on too strong and I all of a sudden see you go like, I might be like, okay, tone it down, shut up, take a breath, let somebody else talk first. And that's how we adapt. So it can be a superpower, but it might not always be a superpower.
I totally get that. Yeah. My dad says that I am like bluntly honest, and I call it honest like with a gratitude or with a charm to it. That's what I like to say.
That's your unique charm.
Some people really like the fact that like, they're like, how do I look at these pants? They look horrible, take them off. And other people are like, ouch, harsh. I'm like, well, that's who I am. If you want me to go shopping with me, that's what you get.
I was actually with somebody last night and she picked up a dress. I'm like, no. And I was like, too much coverage. No. And I would just, every time I'd be like, that one, yes. And she's like, I'm taking you shopping.
Some people love shopping with me. Other people are just like, never again. I'm like, okay, I tried. And so got a nice dress. Thank you very much.
Knowing when it's working for you and working against you is what we are working on, that mindset of accepting ourselves, but also understanding that it might not always work for us.
Got it. And so how does that tie into having a clear vision?
So this is one that people always question me on, because a connector, everyone thinks, well, it's really outwardly focused. It's on the other person. No. A connector is focused on the relationship. But a connector, what I say the advantage is, right? So the title of the book is The Connector's Advantage. So what the advantage is that connectors get things done faster, easier, better. I know that's not grammatically correct, but I don't care. It's fun to say. Faster, easier, better. And when you think about it, if you need to get something done and you can call somebody and they have the answer and you shortcut. So faster, easier, better. But if you don't have a clear vision of what you're working on and what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish, well, then how are you supposed to accomplish them? How are you supposed to get those results faster, easier, and better? So having a clear vision is knowing what you want and knowing how to ask for it.
Ooh, my favorite.
Yeah. Well, as women, sometimes we're not so good at that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm guilty of it too, by the way. Like,
yeah, I think everyone is.
I'm like, oh my God, I can ask for help. Totally forgot that.
So what about those girls that I know that are out there and they're like, okay, I have a problem saying no. What do we tell them? How can they be better at connecting?
So that's actually the mindset of conscientiousness.
Okay.
So they're very connected. So having clear vision is knowing what you want and being willing to ask for it. And one of the things I talk about in the book are different ways to make an ask to make it easier for you. Being conscientious, a connector is somebody who does what they say they're going to do, right? They have follow up and they have follow through. So if I'm conscientious and I say what I'm going to do, I got to be careful not to say yes to everything, or I'm going to be really, you just drive yourself into the ground. And I've done that. My husband actually had a sticky note on my computer for about a year that just said no.
That's a good husband.
He's like, I think we need to put that sticky note back up. You forgot the word. Because you need permission sometimes to say no. And so when it comes to being conscientious, one of the things Connector knows how to do is know when to say no and know how to say yes. So no and yes are never just the word no or yes. It could be no but. It could be yes if, yes after, yes with, yes when. So it's really being very clear on what your boundaries are. See, well, that just leads us to another mindset.
We're getting there. Halfway through.
So here's the thing. These mindsets aren't linear, right? Although I put them in a certain order in the book, it's not like you have to move from one to the next. They enable each other. So that conscientious mindset enables trust, but those boundaries enable a generous spirit. So I'm able to say no when I know I have room. Or say yes when I know I have room. So that generosity and the spirit of abundance allows generosity. And so like they're all connected.
That's
I have a whole list of questions you want to ask, so I'll stop talking. This is that unique charm.
No, please keep talking. You're fine. And by the way, I love your unique charm. Okay. I'm not one of those people that are like, I don't want to go shopping with you. I'll shop with you, girl. It's okay.
I'm also the coupon queen, so that doesn't hurt.
Oh my God. Yes. High five right through the computer. Virtual high five.
I bought there was these items that I bought yesterday. It would have cost $36 full price. And they had a 3 for $24. And then I had 25% off. And then I had like my Macy's Star Awards. I paid $6 for them.
For 30 instead of $36?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? Okay, we'll talk about that afterwards.
That's another unique charm I have.
You get your coupons. Okay, we'll get there. My dad's really good at that stuff too, and I'm still in shock that he can do that. But getting back on track really quickly. So I know that some of us that are probably watching this are probably introverts. They're like not extroverts. They're not about connecting or really, getting along with people. And they're like more like, a lot of my girls are bookworms. So we're always reading a book, and that's literally one of our main conversations because we're in our room reading books. We don't talk to the people. That's why they like being in a Facebook group, network, online. So how can they connect better online or in person for that matter if they are introverts?
Well, I always say, and in both books, I talk about introverts. So in the likability book, I said, good news for the introverts. There's a whole section in there. And in this book, I call it the introvert's edge. And the founder of the podcast, The Introvert's Edge, actually contributed to this section. And some of the best connectors I know are introverts. Introverts have a natural gift and a natural advantage with networking because they're better listeners, right? Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm a little bit of an extrovert. I'm the talker. And listening is something I had to really work on that skill, whereas that comes really naturally to introverts. Introverts are also better in the one-on-one. That's their comfort zone. And that's where real connection forms. So with the mindset of social and curious, which is where we talk about the introverts, I'm not talking about being a social butterfly. I'm not talking about being the life of the party. Social can look a lot of different ways, and it can be online and it can be face-to-face. And there's a lot of things that introverts can do to enable their strengths to come out in those situations so that they can connect.
That's beautiful. And I know that there's different kinds of connectors in general. There's like a global connector, there's a non-connector. So how do we know what connector we are? Does it matter in the first place? Or
I created a quiz, and I don't know where it's going to be coming out yet, but stay tuned. I'll let people know where it is. But there's 7 levels on the spectrum of connector.
You like the number 7.
I like odd numbers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that. So there's very few people out there that are truly non-connectors. Very, very few people. The truth is almost everybody has some of these mindsets and these attributes and these behaviors within them, but they might be at that first stage of being an emerging connector. And that's somebody who is trying some of this stuff out. It's not comfortable yet. They're not doing it extensively, but they're starting out. And really the spectrum is based on 2 criteria: the responsiveness or initiation of your actions and the breadth and depth of your connections. Right? So as those things increase, you kind of move along the spectrum. So you move from an emerging to a responsive. Right? So now you're doing more, and when people are asking you for things, you are not always recognizing where you have value to offer. And so when somebody requests, you're there, you're doing, you're giving, but you're not always initiating the ideas.
Oh, that's good. So you kind of have to be a leader to also be a good connector then.
It's not about being a leader. It's about it's almost like the synapses like clicking of recognizing where you can be useful. And we always don't, especially as women, we don't always give ourselves credit for the value we bring to the table. And there's a lot of different ways to add value. And so kind of thinking about what what can I do for this person and what's the next point of contact? So as we think about being a responsive connector, we then move to an acting connector. And this is where we're more balanced in initiating as well as responding. We're doing it, we're living it, but we might not have the breadth or depth of connection yet.
Got it.
And so most people will fall within that spectrum. And you know what? Sometimes being an acting connector is enough. You don't need to keep going. If you have a niche, right? So if a certain industry, a certain job function, a certain geographic region, you might be a niche connector. So my sister's a great example of this. She knows everyone in real estate law in the state of New Jersey, up, down, and sideways, if they're involved in real estate law. She is not a lawyer. She is.
How does she know everybody?
Because she services the industry. She is a HERpreneur.
Got it.
Right? Been in business, her own business for 25 years. And she built a business that her clients are those within the real estate legal. And now she's known across the country. So she's moving, right? So she's always been focused New Jersey, but she has a now national client. And so that's broadened her. So she's starting to move to be a super niche connector, right? But so a niche connector is like that niche of connection. Like I know everybody in town. I know everybody, in law, whatever. A super connector has that I know everybody, right? And then a global super connector takes those connections beyond your borders. So I have contacts on multiple continents. I might not have a lot of contacts on those continents. I wouldn't say I'm a crazy global connector, but I mean, I know people across the US, I know people across different industries, I know people in different levels within organizations, different demographic, geographic, education, all the different types of differences. I probably know someone.
And you for, whenever I need somebody for anything.
If I don't know somebody, I can go to my network. I need to know somebody who, and somebody will know somebody, right? So, and that's the faster, easier, better.
That's definitely easy. And a lot of people tell me I'm a good connector. So I'm trying to figure out which one I am. I'm not a niche connector. I do know people pretty well. Like I'm in Miami and now Orlando. There's like my two areas at the moment. So Florida, but I do know at least like one person in like 30 states. So I'm getting there. Right.
Here's the thing. It's a spectrum, right? So it's not like, okay, I hit it now. It's, and sometimes we move, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing it, if you're living it, if you're seeing those results, then it's not so important how we label ourselves. It's really embodying the mindsets. I don't care if you call me a niche connector, or a global connector, or an acting connector. I don't care. It's because I know that I'm relationship focused, and that's what it's about.
That's amazing. And I know that when your business starts really, booming at some point, it's kind of harder to have that one-on-one connection. So how do you keep that and keep the relationship going for that matter, even if your business is growing and you have like 100 emails coming in daily?
Yeah, that's my life.
Yeah, exactly. How do you do it?
There's a great section in the book where I talk about, being efficient with your time and how do you think about investing time in connecting. And there's a lot of time in the day that we can find, right? So that commuting time, that Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m., which is the least productive time of the work week, that I'm in food coma time where I can't do anything else, so I might as well just send a couple reach out emails, that I have to eat lunch anyway time. Like there's a lot of found time. There's also ways to have group connecting or do it when you're already doing something else. So I have gym dates. Like in my town, there's this gym that we go to, and it's a lot of people who are, working moms and, have their own businesses. And so we'll be in the same circuit at the gym. And so we get to chat while we're doing our workout, or we'll have coffee right after, or, well, I don't drink coffee because God, who wants me to see, like I have enough energy without coffee. But we'll have a bagel afterward or something like that. So thinking about dog walking, like I met somebody at the dog park and I ended up hiring her. So doing the things that you're already doing, but inviting somebody to do them with you. Like if you're ever going to a networking event, invite somebody to go with you. Even if they don't go, you reconnected.
That's beautiful. And that's really smart. So, okay. All right. Well, how do you, in this world that everything's about social media and virtual at this point, so how can you connect better virtually for that matter?
Well, I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. Now, that's my platform. And at the end, I think you'll probably put my LinkedIn up there. I mean, I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm trying out Instagram, but really just to spy on my son. But there's like thousands of social media platforms out there, and you can't be on them all. So pick your platform. Think about what you're already doing, what you enjoy doing, and think about who are the people you want to connect with, where they are, right? If you are in a field that is very visual, you may want to be on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Or Instagram, right? So more women are on Pinterest. So if your audience is female-based, Pinterest is also a great place. So kind of, actually one of the things I do is break down the most popular social media platforms in the book and talk about kind of who's where, and where you might want to be. I like LinkedIn. For me, it's my comfort place. I respect the mindset of the site. I think that it's taken some of the best things from other sites and incorporated them in. Like you can say happy birthday on LinkedIn now.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, it'll tell you birthdays. It gives you reasons to reach out. So when you can invest 30 minutes a week and just on LinkedIn and find those ways to connect. So what I will tell you is always personalize your reach out. And when they say, do you want to congratulate so-and-so on their anniversary or their new job? Don't just click, click, click. Personalize. It takes 30 seconds more to make that note from you, and somebody will know the difference because they will get a million that says, congratulations on your new job, exclamation point. And they get like 20 of the exact same thing. And they know all they really did was click.
And that also builds trust, right? I believe one of the main 7 mindsets that we haven't talked about so far is believing in abundance.
Yeah, I'm glad you're keeping track because I went all over the place.
No, I was thinking of it too. I was like, wait, let me get back on track. So we talked about open accepting. We talked about having a clear vision. We talked a little about trust, social and curious, definitely. Consciousness and generous spirit. And I was like, we're missing one. Believing in abundance.
This is actually one of the hardest ones for people. And it's probably one of the hardest ones for me as well.
Glad we left at the end.
So I originally called this coming from a place of abundance versus scarcity. And I just got rid of the scarcity because I just didn't want the negativity in there. We understand that we can have a scarce mindset. And a scarce mindset is one where we are very protective. We feel like there's not enough and we have to, hoard our own. We think of people as competitors and we don't share. And so all of that trust and generous spirit really do come from a place of abundance. And when you have a mindset of abundance, it's not, oh, everything's coming up roses and daffodils. It's not a Pollyanna attitude. Abundance is about the possibility of it not being the way it always was. So for me, I come out of finance. I'm a recovering CPA. Back in the day, yeah, I know. Can you believe it?
What's CPA? At a moment.
Certified pain in the assets.
Oh my God.
Or you could call it a certified professional account. What is it? Accountant. I don't even know. Professional. Wait, my CPA is right behind me.
You cracked me up at least 5 times.
Certified public accountant. It's literally on my wall. I had to look at it. Certified public accountant.
I like pain in the ass more.
Assets. That's accounting humor. So now we're talking about,
Living in abundance, not scarcity.
When I was back in my finance days, there was one female partner. Right. So that is a scarce thing. Women making it to partner. So at that time, women were very right? If only one of us is going to get there, it's going to be me. And women were not helping women. I'm really glad that's changed. And I see that shift immensely because it isn't scarce anymore. But that said, even back then, a mindset of abundance would have been to believe that just because there's only one now doesn't mean there can't be more than one in the future. I don't have to think of everybody as my competitor. I can think of them as my strategic partner. Or my confidant, or my sounding board, or my collaborator. And that's the mindset of abundance.
It's beautiful. In this summit, one of the goals that I had was to spread community throughout all 20 plus speakers, right? And really just connecting us all. And I'm hoping in the future that I can maybe do a Zoom with all of us at once. I'm trying to figure out how to connect everyone, right? And that's my thing. So that's beautiful. All right, perfect. Okay. So I am running out of questions. I'm thinking I'm going to move on to what action step can our female entrepreneurs watching take today to really become a better connector? And if you have more than one, you can go for it. They don't mind.
Well, one of the things I do in the book in each mindset is I give a mindset mission.
Ooh, that's cool. I like the name.
You know, in the likability book, I say live the law. Like I always want there to be something practical and tactical that people can do. So it really depends on the mindset that you're working on. We gave you some ideas around investing time. But here's what I would say is just pick one person. Like one person that you want to build a stronger relationship with, whether that's a client, a vendor, a mentor. Just pick that one person and do something right now. Well, not right now because you're listening, but in the next hour, send them a note, send them, pick up the phone, give them something to reconnect. And it could be an email that just says, hey, it's been too long, or hey, I was thinking about you. I just did that today. I haven't seen somebody about 2 months. I know her significant other is having a medical issue. And so I just sent her a Facebook Messenger. And I just said, thinking about you, hope you and your man are doing great.
Aww.
And so we had a 5-minute exchange. She knows I was thinking about her, and that's all I needed to do. There was no expectation. It's called a light touch. There's no expectation of somebody having to do something for me. I'm literally just saying, I was thinking about you. And that's what we are doing when we connect, is saying, you're important enough for me to take that time.
That's beautiful.
So take some time.
Yeah, I've definitely been making this a little too hard then, because normally what I'll do is I'll send like a huge gratitude journal note, you know. I normally do like one gratitude a day, and I'll call that person and I'll be like, hey, you know, this is why I'm grateful for you.
I love that. But don't change it. If it is working for you, don't change it, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to say, well, that sounds too hard, well, what could they do instead? Well, they might just do the 1-sentence gratitude email. Yeah. Or text or message or something, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So they can find their own way to do that little reach out.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. That's amazing. So one of the last things that I'm going to talk about with you is your free gift that you're going to give everybody, or the gift pack. I like the name you gave it, gift pack. So what is the gift pack? And please tell us also about the pre-order bonuses that I know are coming specifically for today, March 5th.
Yeah, so today is the day I launch. We are live today, and actually today only. If you go onto Amazon, you can download the Kindle for free.
Oh my God.
I know, today only. So what I will ask you to do is, if you download the book, will you please also post a review on Amazon? Honest reviews are really greatly appreciated. The more reviews, the better, because Amazon likes that. So this content's so important to me, so I do give it away. I actually give away a free chapter for the likability book. If you pre-order, which actually I'm going to leave the bonuses up. So because today's the day of launch, if you go to theconnectorsadvantage.com and you upload your receipt for your book, you'll be able to get some bonuses. A chapter, an additional chapter from my other book, a discount for something. I'm doing a live author Q&A. You'll be invited to that. If you buy a book for a friend, there's more bonuses. If you want to buy it for your whole team, my HERpreneurs out there, there's even more bonuses. So that's at theconnectorsadvantage.com. But the best way to find all the other stuff, because I'm a giver. I like to give value and content out there, is to just go to my website, which is Michelle with 2 L's, Tillis, Tillis, Lederman, Lederman.com. And if you go /gift pack, you'll get all the goodies. But honestly, if you just put your name right in there and sign up, you'll get all the goodies anyway. That will take you to my blog. That will take you to my YouTube, because I do little videos. I call them success shorties. See, what you can't tell here that Jocelyn knows is that I'm 4'10". So we play on that, and they're short, like less than 1 minute video tips. What else do I have on there? I have my LinkedIn and Twitter and all that good stuff, and there's lots of ways to connect.
That was amazing. Michelle, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you. You have made me crack up insanely. I was like, I did not sleep well last night. I was hoping that I wouldn't fall asleep on this one, and I did the complete opposite. I'm more awake now. I can do jumping jacks right now. So thank you. It has been an honor and a pleasure. And if there anything else that you would like for them to know, please let me know now. This is your moment to speak out.
Connect with me.
Yeah. On LinkedIn specifically, that's her platform. And Connectors Advantage. Thank you, Michelle. That was amazing. And ladies, I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye.